Hello everyone and welcome to Monday. This is what I would say to you if it were actually Monday, March 31st, 2025. This is in fact not. I'm recording this a few days later, just because I am sick. I've been sick for a few days, maybe a week at this point. And today is the first day I felt really well enough to do it. So I'm trying to strike while the iron is hot, or while my nose isn't running. I'll be talking about why I'm sick in today's video. And today's video is, of course, March extras. All of the things that happened in March that didn't have vlogs dedicated to them. Got a few things to discuss, things that happened throughout the month. And then also quite a few video clips too, which is fun. I've been trying to consider the monthly extras video as I'm going through my month to record little things here and there to have more things to show. It's kind of like show and tell. It's fun. Do you like show and tell? I think it's great. The first thing we'll talk about is a tiny recap in the sense that this month started with the marathon, and I already have an entire vlog about that, so I don't need to go into detail about the marathon itself. It's a great video, by the way. I highly recommend you watch it. But one of the things I wanted to include in the marathon was some dash cam footage, because I have a dash cam in my car, and I was kind of going all over the Myrtle Beach area, and I was like, oh, this would be really cool. I should include some dash cam footage. I pulled the micro SD card out of the dash cam and I put it into my computer, and I discovered something truly bizarre, and that is, ever since the first time, I believe it was the first time I ever used the dash cam, when we first got it in 2022, it hasn't worked since that day. There was footage on that micro SD card from the first time we had used it, and then at some point the card becomes corrupted and it never recorded anything else, which means that for the past 3 years it hasn't actually recorded anything, which is, for one, inconvenient for my purposes of this marathon vlog because I didn't have any footage to show, and then also mildly horrifying because one of the purposes of a dash cam is to keep you safe in terms of, you know, if someone hits you, you have some level of evidence to present to the insurance company, etc. And I actually haven't been recording anything for 3 years. So that's bad. That really falls on me because when you get something like that, you should probably test it, and I guess I just never did. So for the best that I can understand is that the card itself was corrupted because I could not reformat that card anywhere, not in the device, not on a computer, anywhere. So I think the card is broken, and I have since put in a new card, a different card that I had laying around, and I haven't actually pulled that card out to test to see if the footage is working, but the device itself, the dash cam, changed how it worked. Like there was a light that had been on prior, which I assumed was that's the good light. That light means it's working. And in fact, I think maybe possibly the opposite, because since I put the new card in, that light is gone. So it's fine. This is a little reminder to, if you get something, test it out. Test it out. And I mean, I still need to pull the card out and make sure that it's recording stuff now, although I do believe that it was an issue of the card. Anyway, so yeah, there was no marathon dash cam footage, but I guess it worked out because I got to find out that, I haven't actually been recording anything for years. That's cool. That's fine. Anyway, now let's get back into some things that happened this month that might be a little more interesting than this thing I bought years ago. It hasn't been working. Josh was back in town. Josh came back into town. He was here for 2 weeks, ultimately because has moved essentially at this point up to Pennsylvania, and he still had a bunch of stuff here, so he came back into town to spend time with us, but also to tie up loose ends and move. Shortly after he got back into town, me and him and Dan went to a toy convention. There was a toy convention that happened in Raleigh, and my buddy Will had come up to actually be a part of the toy convention and sell some stuff. It's interesting because nowadays, toy convention does mean like collectibles in the sense that you would think. When I think toys, to be honest, I think of like Star Wars action figures from the 70s and 80s. But more than ever, it means Pokemon. It just means Pokemon cards. And in this toy convention, like, there was all of that stuff that you would think about in a traditional sense, but there was also like 50% Pokemon cards. Everybody has Pokemon cards. So many Pokemon cards. And just Pokemon stuff in general. But it was still cool. It was still cool to walk around. That's not like a scene of mine. I don't normally go to toy conventions, but since Will was a vendor, seller, or whatever you would call it at the convention, I thought it'd be a good opportunity to go and check it out. And it was fun to look at. That same day that we were at the toy convention, Mal could not join us because she had planned to do a very, very big ride. She did a 33-mile ride around the entirety of Raleigh. She actually shot some video, so I can show you that now.
It's March 8th, and I'm sure this is gonna go in the recap video, but here's my bike. Today, Steven went with Dan and Josh and Will to there's like a toy expo that Will's doing something for, and I'm taking a bike ride. I'm going like 33 something miles in a loop all the way around Raleigh, and I'm probably about halfway through, and I found this cute little bike mural on the back of this abandoned building. There's a big bird. I don't know exactly where I am. I'm somewhere on the Crab Creek Greenway. Crab Creek Trail Greenway. So now I'm about 2/3 of the way, or 3/4, something like that. I'm 24 miles, so I have another 9 to go, and I'm on Walnut Creek, and it's just the most beautiful day. And for a Saturday, it hasn't really been super busy. There's been some busy points, but I'm having another break. I got my bike behind me on this bench, and I'm just having a little snack and some water, and then I'll finish up my last 9 miles.
So that was really cool. Very proud of Mal for continuing to, push herself when it comes to biking. It's something that she's really, really enjoyed, and it's such a cool accomplishment to be able to, ride your bike that far, and especially where she went, getting a chance to see like the entire city was very, very neat. So that was March 8th, because I'm going in chronological order, and just a few days later, on the 11th, is when Kep died. And I don't have to go into like a lot of detail about that, because that again is a video that exists on the vlog that you can watch. That video covered the 11th through the 14th. But man, it's been hard. It's been hard. I want to stress that we're doing okay, and I really genuinely believe that. The initial shock of it was very difficult. And then after we got over that initial shock, there's been acceptance of it, I think maybe even a little more quickly than when Sagan had passed. And I think maybe it has something to do with the fact that, like, subconsciously in the back of our minds, we knew this was coming. With Sagan, it was like very sudden. We were not expecting it, and that was very hard. With Kepler, we've had a year to prepare. Even if we weren't like actively preparing, I feel like we were subconsciously preparing. So the initial shock of him being gone was very hard, and I took it very, very hard. But since then, the acceptance, I think, has come a little more quickly as a result. We miss him. We miss him. It would be impossible not to. But we're doing okay, and we've tried to do our best to, support each other, and then also continue on with normal life, and try to do everything we can to get back to normal and find our new normal, I guess. So that was the middle of the month. Not my favorite thing that happened. Arguably that'll be the dark spot of the entire year. A few days after we recorded that video, or finished that Kepler video, Mal made some cinnamon rolls. there's this recipe that she's been wanting to do for a long time for banana cinnamon rolls. So they're imbued with like banana flavor. The idea behind them is essentially it's kind of like banana bread, and they taste pretty similar to banana bread. But she had made a bunch of those actually, and had gotten a bunch of them ready, and we took them to friends and stuff so they would be able to try them. So those were really good. I've also been continuing to make food. I made some French toast the other day. I am a little sick. Which is not anything super special, but I love breakfast food. I also shot a clip of me making I made a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich I was just really proud of because it's just very pretty. I mean, it was delicious too, but I made it and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. I've been craving some sausage. It's not that I don't like bacon, I love bacon, but I'm the person that when you go to the breakfast restaurant and they ask you if you want bacon or sausage, I almost always order sausage. And I had not had any in the house for a long time, and I got some, and I've been making some sandwiches, not every day because they're not great for you, but maybe like once or twice a week I'll make like a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich, and they're really good. It's been fun to make, and also to work on, because normally I do the eggs like over medium, but I've been doing them scrambled and like folding them to fit perfectly on the on the bread, and that's there's something about that makes my brain very happy. So that's been fun to do. I felt bad because Josh got back into town and was excited to hang out because he's working on packing his stuff up, but he was also here for 2 weeks. And like 4 days after he got here, Kep died. And then, after Kep passed, obviously like Mal and I are grieving. So we're not doing it. We're not really going anywhere, doing anything for a few days. But after a few days, I decided, I was feeling better, Mal was feeling better. And I kind of came out of my grief home. And I actually went disc golfing with Josh and Dan, and that was a lot of fun. I hadn't been disc golfing in a while, and I had a whole lot of fun doing that. And we got a few different clips from that day. Didn't film a lot, but a little bit, and that was nice.
Godspeed.
Get it. Oh, excellent.
Wow.
There was just a part of my brain that was like, don't throw it in the water.
Alrighty.
I just threw it really hard.
This one belongs to Dan, so
Yeah.
I'll try not to put it in the water, Dan.
We trust. We have trust. Got it.
Trees.
Tree better than water. Also cleared the water. All that really matters is we cleared the water.
Now what do? We swim through?
Yeah, you have to swim
Yeah.
to the other side.
I thought there was a rowboat.
All right, here we go.
I believe that was the 18th. The next day, the 19th, we had a going away party for Josh. Didn't actually record anything that day. Didn't even take any photos, which is really, really odd. But basically just had everyone over and got some pizza and I think some cheesecake. And for the most part, we just sat in the living room and chatted. So it was a pretty quiet party. But it was just a way of being like, hey, Josh, you're leaving. We're gonna miss you. To some extent, he's been gone already for a long time. But this is like the big, like, oh, okay, it's really happening. You're not coming back. So it was nice to have that little party. And then the next day, which was the 20th, which is actually my birthday, I spent the first part of the day just helping Josh get his truck loaded. So me and Dan spent a few hours just gathering everything loaded, Tetrising everything in there. Josh was definitely going through the 5 stages of grief in relation to like, oh God, I didn't get a big enough truck. And I'm like, you did. And he's like, I really don't think I did. And I'm like, you did. I'm good at Tetris. I got this. And we did. We fit everything in there. And then by the time we were done, there was so much extra room. I was like, Josh, you could go buy a couch. Go buy a couch and throw it in here and take it with you. But we got that done, so he was all set. And then that night, because it was my birthday, Mal took me out. And I told her, I said, I don't want to do anything like with the group for my birthday. I don't really want like a birthday party or anything. I said, but I would like you to take me out and just like you pick the place, you know, so I don't have to do anything. I just get in the car and go somewhere and we eat. So Mal took me to a Greek place that was in downtown Raleigh, and I had some chicken penne, and Mal had, I think, some lamb, and it was very, very good. It was nice. It was a simpler, quieter birthday. I know a lot of times around here, like we do kind of like parties or stuff for people, but with the previous night we had just had everyone over, and there's so many birthdays around like March and April around here. So I was like, I'm fine. Like we're gonna get together with everyone at some point. So I don't really feel the need to do anything for me specifically. So it was nice to hang out with Mal and just kind of have a quiet night. And then it was probably a few days after that, Mal went out of town because for a few months now, Mal had planned to go up to Philadelphia and see, there's a band Mal really likes called The World is a Beautiful Place. And so she was planning to go up there, and I never planned to go with her because at the time that she was making these arrangements, Kep was still alive and we wanted someone to stay here with him. So Brandon was actually going with her. So her and Brandon went up to Philadelphia to see this band. While she was up there, she actually met up with Josh, Rebecca, and Noah. So they got together, they had some food, and they also went to Putt Shack, which Mal has done before when she's been in Philadelphia. I'm pretty sure there's footage of that, I think.
Most you can hold a piece of paper in half and step in time.
Oh my God, wait, we just talked about
We
this.
literally just talked about this. And the answer is true.
So true.
Somehow. What do you mean?
It said Mythbusters proved it was 11.
No, but Mythbusters, they spread it out across a whole warehouse. They had a hangar.
You still have to shoot it in.
They had a hangar.
So she had a lot of fun. While she was up there, she also saw, God, I'm not gonna remember. I think it's the world's largest pipe organ. There's the story surrounding it's very bizarre. It's like the world's largest pipe organ, and it's in a Macy's. And it just so happened that when Mal was there, it was like the last day that the Macy's was going to be open. So they were doing this huge like pipe organ concert because the store was going to close, and then everyone's like, what's going to happen to the pipe organ? We spent almost an entire breakfast stream talking about it, and Mal was showing pictures and stuff. So there's a breakfast stream that talks about the pipe organ that you can watch if you want to learn more about that. It was a pretty interesting story. And while Mal was in Philadelphia, I was here, obviously, and I stayed pretty busy because that was the weekend that I did some sponsored Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition streams. So I actually, and there was a lot of streaming, because I had streamed Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning, because I covered from Mal, and then Friday night, and then Saturday, and then Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I streamed like 11 days in a row. But that weekend, I had done like 5-hour days on Saturday and Sunday just doing Xenoblade. And, that was good that I stayed busy, because there was something else that happened while Mal was gone, And that was me coming to the realization that for the first time in 12 years, I was truly alone in my own home. Because we've always had cats here. So even if Mal was out of town and I was here, I had company. And there was just, like, there's been this feeling of loneliness anyway, but when Mal left town, oh my God, that was rough. I took Mal to the airport. When I had gotten home, as soon as I walked in, it just like hit me so hard. I was like, there is no one here. It's just me. And it just, like, I was okay, but oh, that whole weekend, I'm actually really glad that the Xenoblade stuff fell on that weekend because it was a really welcome distraction. You know, I'd come downstairs to like make myself dinner or whatever, and it's so quiet in the house. So that was hard. And again, that's something that I'll get more used to with time, but I'm not gonna say that was the roughest part of March. That would be insane. Obviously losing Kep was the roughest, but second to that would be that weekend of just like, oh, there's no one here. It's just me. It's so quiet. That was hard. It was really, really quiet. But Mal was only gone for a few days. And then when she got back, I mentioned, I think last month, that we've been playing Disco Elysium, and we finished it. We scrolled the credits. It was a fantastic game. I don't know how much time we ultimately put into it. Maybe like 40 or 50 hours. Highly recommended, but, and I've said this like 10 times already, don't play it on the Switch. If you can help it, don't play it on the Switch. Throughout our 40 or 50 hour adventure, it crashed, I bet, at least 30 times. So, not stable at all on that console. Me and her were talking about what we wanted to play potentially next, and one of the games that I picked up during the most recent Steam sale was Baldur's Gate 3. So that's something that we're going to try and see if you know, that jives with us. But Disco's at least done, and I can't wait to play more games like it. We're not going to get a Disco sequel, it sounds like, unfortunately, and that's a whole thing on its own. But more games that are like that, I would love to play for sure. And then speaking of playing games, when Mal got back, we started playing Split Fiction. And I'm just throwing this in there because, like, I mean, for one, we're still going through it, and if folks don't know, because sometimes people watch the vlog and they don't know about the other stuff that we do. You know, we stream. we stream on Twitch. I would certainly encourage folks to check us out over there on twitch.tv/StephenGeorge, or Mal does /MalMake. She's on there too. On Fridays, we've been doing Split Fiction, and it's fun. It's fun. The story's a little on the nose, but the gameplay is very fun, and playing a co-op game like that is really enjoyable. Mal being in Philadelphia, she had a great time, but then she came back and she was good for a few days, and then she started to feel a little sick, and then she got sick. So she was sick for like a week, and I hadn't felt anything, and I was like, are you kidding me? This is gonna be the first time in however many years we've been together that I dodged it, and I was getting really excited about that, and then I started to get sick. So at this point, I've been sick for a few days, maybe a week, and I probably still got another week to go. I'm not thrilled about it, but it is what it is. It's fine. I'm doing my best to rest and take it easy and recover. Like I said, I put this video off for a few days, but it was time to do it and try and get it done because I want to have that finished so I can move on with my life and move into April. One of the plans that I'd had moving into March was that I was not going to record very many modern vlogs because I was going to work on Japan. And then Kepler died. And then to make matters worse, I got sick. So like, March just in general did not go according to plan at all. But I'm trying to remain hopeful that April will be okay. And Mal and I actually have something planned for April that will, I think, certainly lift our spirits and make things nice. So, yeah, stay tuned on the vlog channel for that. And like I said, if you didn't already know, we do stuff live on Twitch. There's also a completely different channel, Steven Plays, where we do video game stuff. You can subscribe to Steven VOD, which is where we put all of our streams after the fact. And if you're interested in more behind the scenes stuff, we post something once a month to Patreon as well. So there's other places to find us other than just here. I know to some degree, I'm posting less than I've ever posted on the vlog channel. So I think it's important to let folks know that there's other stuff out there. We're doing things in other places. So if you want to check us out, you can find us. And that's it. The only other thing I didn't mention is that Mao and I also had a dating anniversary this month, and we didn't celebrate it either. And that's just for the fact that we had other things going on, and we're like, we'll celebrate it soon. But then Kepler passed. But yeah, Mao and I have been together for 17 years. It's a long time. That's a long time. We started dating in 2008. That's remarkable. Wild. Here's to 17 more. Okay, that's it. This is the third March Extras video, or monthly extra video that I've done. I hope that you all have continued to enjoy them. I think it's a fun format, and I'm planning to continue to do more of them. Yeah, I'm gonna try and focus on myself and focus on resting and feeling better, and make April a better month than March was. Hopefully things will be looking up a little bit. Thanks for watching, and let's meet back soon, shall we?